gonna think that somebody talking down on you or they hating on you. I hate that word. Like, I know that's funny that I hate, but people throw that hate word out there a lot when you giving your opinion. It's like, no, I'm not hating. I'm trying to help you out.
Yeah.
I don't know. So who was a role model to you, or was life just your role model until you got to where you was at? Was it at any point, did you have like a coach, a mentor, somebody that, soak some seeds into you?
I mean, along my journey, man, it was different people that might have, dropped some gems. But man, life was my role model. Like my experiences got me sitting in this seat with you. You know what I'm saying? My grandfather, man, like I'm motivated by him though. He was always a positive.
What up, world? You're now tuned in to Underdawg Talk. I'm your host, Eric Jones Jr., the underdog with the heroic heart, and I have conversations with successful underdogs. And today is no different than any other day. I have successful underdog Deshaun Paradise Bay, a.k.a. Big Paradise. Lost, found, and now a certified yoga teacher on a journey of growth, love, and purpose with RYT 200 an hour and Y12SR leader certification. He sees yoga as life itself, more than the poses. It's healing, community, and joy. Join him in healing our neighborhoods through meditation, breathe work, and fun. How's it going, brother?
It's going fine, brother.
That's good. That's good. I can tell it's been one of them days because it's been one of them days for me.
Man, brother.
But I need a fun fact from you.
Okay, fun fact. You know what? On every podcast I go on, I try to throw something new that nobody, people may not know. So on this one, a fun fact about me, I'm going to give y'all my whole government name, right? A lot of people don't know this. My first name is Ernest. Ernest Deshaun is my middle name, and then my last name is Weekly. Now, what happened with that is I go by McLean because McLean is my father's last name, and my mom and him had some type of little petty dispute, so she kept me with Weekly, which was her last name, and then she got married, so now her last name not even Weekly no more. Yeah. So now I'm stuck with Weekly when my last name was supposed to be McLean. So I go by McLean because now my father is gone. He died when I was 2, and I never knew him. So to make my grandmother on my father's side happy, I just started going by McLean. But I kept my name Weekly because it makes my grandfather on my mother's side happy. So you see, I go by Deshaun McLean. Now Ernest, I don't mind people calling me that, but I tell them not to call me that because for one, that's attached to who I used to be, and I'm not that person anymore. And I know sometimes people, they used to ask me, like, are you ashamed of your name? I'm like, nah, I used to have my name tatted on my neck up until like 3 years ago. I recently just got this tat on my neck. So I'm not ashamed of it, but it's attached to who I used to be, and I'm not that person anymore. So you can either call me Deshaun or call me Big Paradise. That's it.
Yep, I feel you.
So that's a fun fact. My fault.
I think I might have said this one before, but my name was actually Eric Thomas. Because my mom's maiden name is Thomas, and so she named me after my dad. But my dad was like, "No, I want him to have my full name." So she ended up changing it to Eric Jones. But yeah, my name for a hot little, maybe the first month was Eric Thomas.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, you learn something new every day.
Yeah, I was like, wow, like, it didn't really mean nothing, but then knowing who Eric Thomas is, and then it's funny because he's from Michigan, and that's where my mom's family from, Detroit.
Wow.
Yeah. I thought that it was dope, and I met him before too, which was cool when I met him. Like, he definitely a genuine dude, and it was crazy because he knew who I was.
Yeah.
Like, he was like, yeah, I check out your stuff. I was like, oh, he know who I am.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, that was when I was really in my bag of speaking. Like, I was posting all the time doing that stuff. But yeah, that used to be my name. Well, actually, my mom, it's my second middle name. So I'm gonna go with fun fact. I had 2 middle names. It's Dwayne Bryce. Yeah, I don't really tell her. So I guess the world know now.
The world know.
Yeah, I got 2 middle names. My mom was gonna name me Bryce. I'm glad she didn't. I ain't like that name.
You don't like that name?
Nah, because the ones I know from growing up, you can't talk about that type of stuff now. But yeah. I just knew they just didn't have. But I don't know. I didn't like Eric either, because it's like when you live in the hood. And I ain't live in the hood, but you live, you around the hood and you visiting and stuff. Everybody got a cool nickname, and everybody just called me Eric. And then they eventually start calling me E, and I was like, all right, that's cool. But I always wanted a cool nickname, and it ain't too many nicknames you could throw at Eric from off of Eric. It's E, Easy. That's about it.
So let me ask you this: what would you prefer people to call you?
If you know me, if you mess with me, E, cool. Like, I hate when people, like, just meet me sometimes and, like, I don't have that vibe, that energy with them, and they be like, what up, E? This one dude at work called me EJ. I don't like, he didn't know I didn't. I was like, hey, man, don't call me that. My name Eric.
Yeah.
So he did it again, like he did it in the group chat at work. And I'm like, all right, I ain't gonna say nothing crazy to him. I was like, hey, my name Eric. And then I was like, hey, man, I told you my name is Eric. That's what my name is, laughing but serious.
Yeah.
And he ain't never called me EJ again. It's like, bro, you just got hired here. How you give me a nickname?
Yeah.
You don't even know me. So if you call me Eric, that's cool. But E, if you really know me, like my homies, they might call me Easy. Throw that in there. It's kind of inside joke name type thing. But yeah, that's about it. Most people, I'm used to Mr. Jones because that's what the kids call me.
Yeah.
Or Mr. Eric.
That's a cool name, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to start calling you Mr. Jones.
Nah, you can't. Nah,
don't call you Mr. Jones. Just let the kids call you.
Yeah, just let the kids.
Just call you Eric.
Yeah.
Eric.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's
Mr. Jones. You like, oh, that nigga, don't call me that, brother.
No, we adults. So yeah, Mr. Jones. Yeah, that's another name that I like to get called for another reason.
Oh, you are wow.
So look, my son.
I ain't gonna call you that, brother.
Look. My son, mom would be like, Mr. John's like, nah, you can't call me that no more. She's like, why? It's like, nah, you just can't. Yeah, you just can't. You don't get the privilege to call me that no more.
See, people used to play with me with every now and then people still like try to be funny when they find, like, even on this podcast. I guarantee after this drops, it's gonna be people that try to be funny and call me Ernest.
Yeah.
But I be telling people, it was like, don't let the internet and these podcasts and stuff fool you. Like, I'm friendly, but I'm not that friendly. You feel me? So it's like, if you catch me in the wrong atmosphere or you catch me at the wrong time, I don't know what you gonna get. I don't know what side of me you gonna get.
Yep.
And then, I don't want you to get upset, because even on this podcast, I'm telling people, do not call me Ernest.
Yeah.
But the moment you call me that, I don't know. I might laugh and be like, man, quit playing with me. Or I might be like, hey, man, quit playing with me for, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
So, but people tend to, whatever.
Yeah, I got an uncle named Ernest. That's why I was laughing, because I'm like, that's an older name.
It's a common name. My father's name was Ernest, and then his father's name was Ernest.
Yeah. So, because, about the age that we are, that was probably like, you probably the end of those type of names, but that
the
definitely.
very end.
Yep.
What was crazy is, I'm going to add this to the fun fact. So I have another brother named Ernest, too.
Mm-hmm.
He's on my father's side. So what happened was, my father was sleeping around with his mama and my mama, and then he named both of us Ernest. Mm-hmm. But see, my brother, his name is Ernest William McClain, Jr. Technically, I'm the junior, but I don't have junior at the end of my name because of my mama was, you know what I'm saying? And so people be calling him Junior, and then my people be like, but he's not even the real Junior. I'm like, man, let him have it. You feel like?
That's crazy.
But
I never added Junior to my last name until, like, I started speaking, because I was like, Eric Jones, that's just regular. And then I'm like, I just go, now it's like Eric Jones Jr. I always say that. I don't just say Jones, because I think it sound better, Eric Jones Jr.
Yeah.
But I never really went by that for the longest, because my dad passed when I was 4. My biological dad passed when I was 4, so I didn't really know him, and it was like I was hanging on to, like, dreams of him, and then I got to know who he really was, and I was like, I don't know if I might have really liked my man. We might have probably got into it.
Yeah.
And so, I was like, well, I'm going to keep this name going, even though he passed early. I'm gonna keep Eric Jones Jr. I wanted my son to be the third, but his mama didn't want it. Yeah. So he came out just like me. So she still got the little me. Yeah, it was like I wanted to, like I'm junior. Let's keep this going. Let's keep the Eric Jones going. And she's like, nah. I was like, that's cool, because he is his own unique person.
Yeah.
So but he's definitely me. Like he came out, like when we got divorced, I'm still at the house because he's there. Yeah. So let's get in. I got I got the questions.
Okay, let's get it.
So, can you share about your journey of losing your way and reconnecting with your true self? And what was like the turning point that like kind of sparked? What was like the aha moment of that self-discovery?
Man. Well, the aha moment for me, not before I even get into the aha moment, like when I talk about losing myself is, I like to reflect on my childhood, growing up. So even talking about when I was younger. So when I started growing up, I used to get bullied a lot. You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't that I was scared of them. Shit, I was scared of my mama. So I'm telling you, like, and my mama probably don't even know this. I used to be terrified because I knew that if I got into a fight in school or something like that, when I got home, my mama was, can I cuss on here?
Yeah.
My mama was going to whoop my ass. And I didn't want that ass whooping. See, I don't know what other people, mothers was into, but my mama got down.
Yeah.
And she got down, okay? So a lot of times I would get bullied because I was scared to fight back, because I already knew once I got home, I was going to get my ass whooped. But one time I decided to fight back, I got sent to juvenile. I didn't get my ass whooped, but she was on my ass. You know what I'm saying? And I went through, bullying, which these kids today are going through that.
Yeah.
I used to think I was ugly for a long time. Like I had that Michael Jackson syndrome. I had a big nose, you know what I'm saying? I got a big nose. I could smell you from a mile away. I had a big nose, you know what I'm saying? I had a gap, and I had acne, and then my mama used to send us to school with our shirt tucked in and stuff like that. So I was known because I was goofy and I was like the class clown, but I wasn't one that women was chasing after, you feel me? And then I would see the little light-skinned dudes with the braids and shit. And I ain't gonna lie, growing up, especially going through middle school and shit, I wanted to be like them. I'm like, man, motherfucker with the funny color eyes and shit, they getting all the girls. And I'm sitting over here, girls teasing me about my acne and stuff like that. So I wasn't, I ain't even getting no ass until I was down there 17.
Yeah.
But now my acne's clearing up. I'm coming into my ways. I'm starting to see some of the cool cats, they want to start hanging with me because now they feel like I'm cool. I got a couple women that want me now. So I'm smelling myself. Yeah. So I started hanging around with people that was full of shit. And it wasn't their fault. I always say this, and I'm going to continue to say this. A lot of us was misguided. Yep. So I started trying to do the shit that they were doing. And then it ended up me being disrespectful to my mom and shit. Just being an asshole, man. Yeah. And I never forget, my mom was like, I had told her I wanted to leave. I was like, shit, I want to get up out of here. And she was like, if you leave, don't come back. I thought she was playing. So when I was like 15, maybe going on 16, I went to go stay with my brother and my sisters on my father's side because we were close. So I went to go stay with their mother. And that didn't work out. And I tried to come back home. My mom was like, nah. So I really didn't have a place to go. So my grandma, God rest her soul, she took me in. And then I started going to tech high school. I ain't gonna talk about that school. But after that, man, I was reckless, bro. I was getting suspended, carrying guns, just doing all type of shit. And I was really just trying to fit in. Yeah. Again, like I said, I used to get bullied. I came from that. So now that I'm starting to get a little popularity, I'm starting to do shit that I normally don't do. That's not authentically me. That's me just trying to be something I'm not. And then I just started losing my way, man. I didn't know what depression felt like. I started going through that, like porn addictions and stuff like that. What else? And I wouldn't say anxiety, but like I was stressed, bro. I didn't have nowhere to really go. Like I ended up leaving my grandma's house, and then I was house hopping from the age of like 17 to 19. I was staying on friends' couches. Mom would go to work and I would sleep on their couch, and then they would wake me up early enough to leave. And this is stuff that my mama probably don't even know about. Like, I was doing all type of shit.
Yeah.
Doing all type of shit. And from the first time I got locked up, I was 18. I got pulled over, and I guess I had a ticket. I caught a ticket when I was 17. I wasn't even supposed to be driving because I ain't had my license, but I threw it away. I didn't know nothing about a ticket, but I ain't had nobody to teach me that shit either because, again, I was house hopping and shit.
Yeah.
So I got locked up at 18. That's when they put me in that motherfucking system. And then from like 18 to like 24, man, I was just doing all type of shit. I've been to jail about 10 times. And, you know, got with my baby mama, my second baby mama. I ain't going to bring up the first one. But the second one, man, we was together for like 10 years, bro. But like I said, I didn't know who I was. So, bro, I was dogging her out, bro. The whole down there 10 years, bro, I was cheating like a motherfucker. I didn't even understand why I was doing it. I was just doing it because I could. And I was feeling myself, too. You know, when you feeling yourself, you just feel like you that dude. And when you feel like you that dude, can't nobody tell you shit.
Nope.
So then I ended up losing my family because she finally got tired of that shit after 10 years. She should have been cut my ass off. But after like 10 years, I lost my family. I was doing construction. I got laid off. And then I got fired from another job. I'm surviving off of credit cards. My credit score dropping. And, man, I started really getting heavy into, like, porn and catching bodies. I'm talking about 2, 3 in a day, like superstar status. I'm talking about I'm knocking them down. You feel me? And I didn't understand I was going through depression.
Yeah.
And until a woman actually told me, you know, depression shows up in different forms or whatever. And fast forward, you know, I ain't going to keep going down my timeline, but I ended up getting into yoga. And between yoga and people call them psychedelics, I call them plant medicines. I started experimenting with like mushrooms, peyote, DMT and stuff like that. And between that and yoga, paradise emerged. And like my nigga Murdoch be saying, man, I'm gonna land my plane here. What I mean by paradise emerged, that was me finding myself. So people use it for whatever they want to. Some little females be trying to think I'm on some freaky shit when I say paradise, and I can get that. But paradise originally formed when that was the first time I ever was truly happy.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? That was the first time, and I cried about it too. I was like, this is the first time like I felt like I was at peace. So I started calling myself paradise, and it was like a mantra to myself.
Yep.
That I can always go back there when I'm not feeling up to par. You feel me? So I'm like, okay, if I go through the community and people start calling me paradise, it will always click me back to where I need to be.
Yep.
And it still does that. You know what I'm saying? But then, you know, you still got women that want to say little freaky shit. And it's funny sometimes, but then sometimes I'm like, no, I really want y'all to understand that I want y'all to call me paradise because it keeps me from smacking the shit out of somebody. Or, you know what I'm saying? Or it keeps me from doing off the wall shit. Like when you call me paradise and you affirm me and call me king and stuff like that, it keeps me off your ass.
Yeah, I feel you. And I definitely understand. I wasn't as bad as you. I went to jail once. I got locked up and then I went in once and I was 24 hours. I'm like, no, this ain't even my kind of environment. But I've done stuff that I could have got myself locked up. But like I used to be bullied too, and I just learned how to joke. I like one of my friends. He was one of my friends that my mom always told me not to hang out with, but he taught me, you know, how to joke. And once I started roasting people, they would get mad, and then that's where I would get in. Like I probably got in the most fights like elementary school to middle school. And I feel like that's where my height, my body, and my length of my arms wasn't too out of proportion. Like I was the right height. And I used, like, cause I lived in an all white neighborhood, so I fought mainly white dudes. So it'd be racist stuff, or they think they could pick on me, and it's like, bruh, that's cool and all, but you get close enough to where I can touch you. It's not gonna go the way you think it's gonna go. Yeah. And that I used to have to stand up for myself, and cause I talk a lot of shit in basketball. Like I'm I'm KG Junior. So I used to talk, like people would be mad, but they really couldn't. It's like, dang, we really can't be mad because he really busting our ass. But it's like, you know, on the court, sometimes it get there. I remember it was a dude. big old fat white dude. And he said some type of hand joke. And I don't know, he just pissed me off. So I threw the ball at him, stole on him, and then he like picked me up, slammed me. And I was like, oh shit. I'm like, this not gonna go too well. But luckily, like, I used my feet to kick him off me, and then they broke up the fight because I'm like, yeah, this might not have went well for me. But I was never scared to allow people to bully me. And I don't never think I was ugly. But I feel what you were saying. Like my mom, she wasn't going to the mall. It was JCPenney's, Myers, and I just put stuff together. But I ain't really get to be honest, I didn't get my juice till I was like 19. Like I always been the funny dude, you know, oh, he cute, but nah. But when I went to college, I went to Cedar Point. I went to work at Cedar Point. So I'm in a whole different state. Know nobody really. And I just went over there and it was fun. Yeah, it was fun. Like that's when easy became.
So that's easy, huh?
Yeah. And see, the thing is, it just go with the name of Eric. So people used to be like, oh, you easy. It's like, nah, it's just what I do is easy. Like that's how I looked at it. Like I make what I do look easy. Like if people understood how hard it is to play basketball behind the scenes, they'd be like, oh, I probably wouldn't have played. Or whatever I got to do is not as easy as people think. So that's how I looked at it. As easy as like, I make it look easy. Like if you see me hoop, you're going to be like, man, this nigga can really hoop. Yeah. It's hard. I'm in pain. I got pinched nerve, got arthritis in the shoulders, but I'm going to go out there and put on the show just because that's what I do. So that's how I look at, like you look at Paradise. Like I look at, it's easy. I just make it look easy because I didn't done what I needed to. But yeah, I definitely went through them phases. I wasn't getting in trouble like, well, we was doing some stuff that we weren't supposed to, but I never got in trouble to where jail was involved. Because I remember when I was little, my mom was like, don't get caught, don't go to jail for stealing. I ain't never get caught. I was scared of my mama like you was scared. Yeah. Like I remember the first time I was 19, right? Day before my birthday, we get pulled over. Man, we had liquor in the car. We didn't drink. It was from like the day before. We was so I guess when we stopped, the liquor bottle, fell. You could see it. They had us in handcuffs. So we going to the jail. I'm like, hey, y'all ain't gotta call my mom or anything, do y'all? It's like, no. I was like, okay, I'm cool. I'm figure out how to get out of here. But as long as y'all ain't gotta tell her, I'm good. Like I'm scared of my mama to this day because now she ain't gonna fight. She a little older, so she ain't really tussling with you. But yeah, like I remember going through those same things, and it took me to have my son to click. Like to really click, like, okay, you need to do something different. Like I was just going through life, like on Set It Off when Cleo and old girl was sitting there talking, and she was like, I'm just trying to make it through the day. That's what I was. And then having a son was like, nah, we got to think of something else. We got to think of something more. And that's where everything came with like the speaking, the podcast, radio show, all that different stuff. Because my son, like if it wasn't for him, I probably would be still just job hunting and all that different stuff. So I definitely understand that journey of figuring out who you are, because you want to be you want to be not like everybody else, but you want to be like the cool people. Because where we from, if you think about it, having all the women, you was the dude. You was that dude. You could have a main girl, but if you had all the women, if you could pull up at the party and leave with a couple, you was that dude. So for some of us, that's how we looked at life. We didn't really understand women's feelings, our feelings, depression, anxiety, all those different things until I lost my family. And I was like, damn, this shit suck. Like, you wake up, like, the kids ain't there. My son was little at the time. You ain't got nobody to go home to talk about work or, any of that little stuff that was good in a marriage. It's like, dang, this really sucked. But starting over, it's like, shit, you're back against the wall. Who you got?
And see, man, that's like I like how you said that, because that's how how I lost my family, man. Like, for one, I don't know about you. I feel like we got similar stories too. Yeah. I ain't have no representation showing me like, bro, you ain't supposed to be doing this for women. Like, bro, I ain't gonna lie, all this shit, opening doors for women and stuff, like, bro, I learned it on my own. Like, from trial and error. I didn't know, you supposed to open the door for a woman and stuff. I ain't know nothing about putting a condom on. My mama never had that talk with me. My stepdaddy, he was in and out the house. You know what I'm saying? Like I like to say I had 2 stepdaddies because I got 3 stepbrothers. But my brother and them, their dad was in my life since I was a baby anyway. So that's who my mom was with. And then of course I got brothers that lived in the house with me. And then I got my stepbrothers. But my pops that kind of raised me just a little bit until I was like an early teen. Excuse me. He was addicted to cocaine, crack, whatever. I don't know if he was snorting or he was smoking. I don't know, whatever. He was addicted to drugs. And then the one that came after him, he was an alcoholic. I used to watch him beat my mama ass. So I don't, you know what I'm saying? Nobody's teaching me how I'm supposed to conduct myself
as a man.
You feel me? And that's not an excuse to be cheating on women and stuff like that. But like you said, man, like in your neighborhoods, you feel like that's what we supposed to do. Yeah. And then you gotta, like my uncles and shit used to call me tender when I used to have one little chick. Yeah. So I'm like, well shit, if I'm tender, I'm gonna show you better. I can tell you, I can get them. I can get them.
Exactly.
And then it hurt in the long run. So now I'm damaging my first baby mama, damaging my second baby mama. The first one still going through her shit. She still ain't let that shit go. Yeah. And that shit, I ain't fucked with her since my daughter was 1 year old. My oldest daughter is 14 now. And she still ain't let that shit go. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, sometimes I say, I don't know if you ever been through this, but like, have you ever said by yourself, I'm like, damn, man, what the fuck am I doing? Like, I done had plenty of those moments. Like,
yeah,
bro,
I done had those moments recently. Like, man, what the hell you got going on, man? Like, cause you get so comfortable with your everyday life and where how we grew up. It's like, as long as I'm surviving, I'm good. But that's not really you can't really just survive and be comfortable now. And I didn't have an example of a man. I had my dad, but my sister's dad is my dad, but he was an old school dude, worked, and then they got a divorce, so he wasn't always around. So I learned a lot of stuff, trial and error, and it sucked. Like after losing my family, because I lost my family, had an apartment and lost that, so I didn't have shit. And I'm just like, man, what am I supposed to do? And God just showed me, hey, you depend on you. You got it in you. Everything that you need to do to get out of this hole, you got it in you. I think people don't realize that everything you got, you already got it in you. You just got to go and create it. You just got to go and do whatever it is that you doing. And it's going to be free for a long time. You're going to be broke. You're going to go through all the trial and error, but you're going to love what you're doing. Because if I didn't had a podcast or coaching, man, I'd be a depressed dude just going to my day job and just having that job. Yeah. But I'm doing stuff that I love. I ain't getting necessarily paid from it and stuff like that yet, but it's something that I love, and I keep going every single day for the boys, my son, because he on the team, and then just the podcast. Like, I think I love the podcast more because of conversations where I can learn, or I can sit next to somebody and we kind of grew up the same, and I'm like, damn, okay, good. I ain't the only motherfucker that think like that. Or I ain't, because I didn't sit and looked in the mirror like, hey, what is we doing? Like, it's cool that you wake up and you make it to work, but it's more to life when you got more in you. Yeah. When you realize you him, you like, man, okay, I'm him, but this don't look like him. I ain't living like him. I should be living over here. I should have this, or whatever the case may be. And I think that's just part of the journey. But yeah, you gotta have them conversations. You gotta cuss yourself out sometimes. Yeah. If you can't cuss yourself out, then I think you're not gonna be able to allow somebody else to talk to you that way. And you gonna think that somebody talking down on you or they hating on you. I hate that word. Like, I know that's funny that I hate, but people throw that hate word out there a lot when you giving your opinion. It's like, no, I'm not hating. I'm trying to help you out. Yeah. I don't know. So who was a role model to you, or was life just your role model until you got to where you was at? Was it at any point, did you have like a coach, a mentor, or somebody that, soak some seeds into you?
I mean, along my journey, man, it was different people that might have, dropped some gems. But Man, life was my role model. Like my experiences got me sitting in this seat with you. You know what I'm saying? My grandfather, man, like I'm motivated by him though. He was always a positive person in my life. But even I didn't have to talk with him though before. It's like, even though he was I didn't look up to him though. I just was intrigued by how he moved through life. It was like he was a gangster and at the same time he about his money. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what his relationship was with my mom and shit. I hear different stories, but as far as with me, he was always a stand-up individual. He still is. And but him, I had a couple like big homies back in the day that might have said some stuff. One of my big homies came to the prayer circle not too long ago, and he about 10 years older than me, and I'm glad he ain't here, so now I can speak on this without attaching a name because I don't like dropping names. But we was in I remember I was like 17, and he was in the kitchen doing a little something, and I was in there, and he don't even remember saying this, but people have dropped seeds in me, so he was like, "Hey, little bro, what you doing in here, man? You supposed to be the one to make it out, go to college or be something." And in my head, that wasn't even in. Go to college and be something, nigga. What? Yeah. You out here getting money. I'm trying to be like you. Yep. And fast forward through life, I did go to college and I did become something. So like I said, man, life was my role model, bro. Now I guess I'm something like a role model to other people. I don't like to look at it like that, but bro, I ain't had no big homies like that, bro. Like I ain't had all my uncles was either locked up, on drugs, or selling drugs. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't have no positive male role model at all. Yeah. Not that I can think of right now.
Yeah. Do you have, what about now?
Now, shit, the mastermind, bro. Like, and then I got my homies that I went to middle school with. You know, those are positive brothers. But the mastermind group, bro, I ain't gonna hold you. I keep telling Murdoch, I ain't never been in a room full of that many black individuals and everybody got something going on. Yeah. And it's positive though. Ain't nothing, like nobody in that room is doing anything negative that I see. Yeah. Every time you see a post and it's a group of them, they go out to dinner together. They may be going to the library to study. Like, man, I didn't even know this shit was possible. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I feel like me and you probably like some of the older ones in the class. Yeah. But it's like, bro, man, them brothers is 27, 28, 30, man. Like,
yeah, I wasn't thinking of none of that. Like, Jay Sean is only 19, 20.
Bro, you know what I'm saying?
Like, at 20, I wasn't thinking about none of that. Oh, at 20, I was in college. I'm thinking about girls and parties and how I'm going to get fly and how we getting this money. Like, they thinking about getting this money, building a legacy, building stuff. Like, it's crazy. Like, yeah, it's super dope to see young dudes really getting it because you don't you weren't doing that with your homies. Like, they building businesses, like successful businesses. Like, it's dope to come to class. Like, if you having a bad week, you just come to class, somebody gonna pour into you, somebody gonna say something to you that you be like, dang, okay, let me get back on it. And I love that too. Like, as a kid, my mom definitely tried to, she used to, it was I forgot what the little group was, but it was like the little pastors from church and they come to the school. But I always thought they was corny because they always dressed up. It's like, bro, nobody cared about no suit or none of that. And like, my best friend at the time, his dad was the pastor, but I got to know him outside being the pastor, so he was definitely like somebody that, you know, dropped some gems on me. But I really didn't have too many positive people like growing up either. My granddad, until I think 16, that was my homie though. Like, every day I was with him or talked to him because my mom went to work and my grandma. They said he was blind. I don't believe he was fully blind because my man used to do all kind of stuff. Like, he could still cook. He would take care of us. I didn't see him whoop a nigga ass.
Why he was blind?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like he was, man, listen, the story. My granddad was like 6'2", 6'3", a good 350, big fella. So they lived in an old folks project. So he'd go back there, drink with his buddies. He sent somebody to the store. Buddy came back, and my granddad could feel the money. He was like, nah, this ain't it, bruh. And he was like, yeah, it is. He was like, nah, this ain't it. I'm gonna tell you one more time. And dude was close to my granddad. My granddad, give me my money. My man. I was like, oh, granddaddy ain't playing. Okay. Yeah. And just from him saying having a disability, that kind of had me to like, okay, I can do stuff too because of him, because I was with him all the time. So that was my guy. When he passed, that's really when I started cutting up in school. I was like, man, skip all this stuff. I ain't like school anyways. But my mom was like, this is one of the first times I ever seen her crying. She's like, I need you to graduate. I'm like, all right. I mean, I graduated. It wasn't the best. But yeah, I just remember that bond with him. And after that, I ain't really had no bond with no other male like that. Like until I say an adult, till like I had my son and I had coaches here and there. But to have it, like I had the online community, but having it in person, man, I look forward to Tuesday. Like, I be like, yes, I'm about to go in there. I don't know who gonna show up, but it's gonna be good energy. And then having I don't know, what do we call him, a professor, a coach? I don't know what we call Murdoch.
Bro, he all them things, man, a brother.
Because he spit that knowledge, but then he'll give it to you in a cultural way where you can understand it. But then when he using the big words and the stuff, it's like, oh, okay, I get what he's saying. Yeah. Or it's like, damn, I ain't know that. Like the common sense.
Yeah. Hey, that was crazy.
I just rewatched it yesterday and I was just like, wow. We were set up to lose.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let me get back to the questions. Let's see where we at with this. Okay. So with yoga, because my sister, she do yoga. So I want to ask, when you first started and to where you at now, what was that process like?
Well, I went through a 5-month training. That was in 2022. Mm-hmm. And after that, I started teaching. So I graduated in July 2022. So then I was considered a yoga teacher. I started teaching in August of 2022. And I don't know, bro, like it spread like wildfire. I mean, honestly speaking, there's not a lot of young black men teaching yoga, and then not a lot of black men that come from backgrounds like us. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, and this ain't no disrespect to some of the yoga teachers that are teaching that are male, but like some of them be, you know, they bask a little more in their feminine energy than they do the masculine. Yeah. And I'm one of the ones that probably a little bit more on the masculine side. So I think that's why people started gravitating towards me. And then a lot of people already knew me from, man, I used to rap and do music back in the day. I mean, I'd have whooped a couple niggas. You know what I'm saying? I'd have been in jail, been to 4 different high schools, got kicked out of like 3 of them. So I was already kind of known, but it was just different for people to see me in that space. And I'm not going to lie, before, even with me starting to teach, you know, August, September, October started coming, this is still 2022. I used to think to myself, like, when I make a post on Facebook and Instagram talking about yoga and shit, it's like the ones that I actually wanted to come to class or the ones that I wanted to see my change or whatever, they weren't paying attention. Yeah. And then 2023 came, I really started doing big shit. And then I slowly started seeing those people starting to pay attention. But I also noticed that if I made a status that was perceived to be negative, I wouldn't really get no likes. But anything positive, motherfucker was sharing my shit. So I said, damn, look how the dynamic just changed. At first, I used to post something. I get on there, I want some head tonight. And then my shit go crazy. But now, if I post something like that, people see me in another light. It's like, nobody's about to pay attention to that shit. Yeah. I'm like, damn, that's crazy. So that's all a part of my yoga journey. Like, that's all I wanted was for people to see me in another light. And then when they see me in another light, they see themselves, because I feel like we are reflections of one another. Yep. And I always give people their flowers, because sometimes people give me my flowers, and maybe this is an issue because I like take it and then I throw it back. But and somebody say something positive, I normally just go back to them like, that's cool and all, but we reflections of one another. So pat yourself on the back too, because you're doing a good job as well. 2024, I'm still here. It ain't even I haven't even reached 2 years of teaching yet, and I taught over 100 classes.
That's dope.
So it's just cool, and it actually helped me with becoming more of a nurturer because I got 3 daughters. Mm-hmm. So dealing with them again, nobody ever taught me how to be with a woman. Yeah. So now I got kids, and I have to learn these things because they got feelings. 2 of them are already on their cycles and stuff now. Yeah. And I gotta be more of a nurturer. So yoga actually helped mold me into that too. And then along with some other yoga teachers that are good friends of mine too. They pour into me, I pour into them, and we just keep this ball rolling, just positive exchange of energy just going around. So man, it's been beautiful, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. Like even sitting here talking to you is beautiful, bro, because I ain't know you before I did yoga and shit. And I honestly feel like that path brought me into this space because I didn't even know none of this shit existed. I didn't know about P30. I didn't know about none of this. You feel me? So when we leave here, I'm going to be smiling. You're not going to see it. Yeah. But I'm telling like this shit warms my heart up in a good way, bro. It's just like I'm honored to be sitting here with you, King.
Appreciate it. But that's dope that like you went from, it ain't been that long, and it was something that helped you for a reason that you just wanted people to see a different you. Now you showing the world the different you to help them become a different them. And at first, it's always the people that you be thinking gonna mess with you and they don't. Man. It's like they wait. It's like they waiting for something for you to get at a certain point, then they start messing with you. Like, hey, listen. Don't listen. If you ain't, listen, it ain't been too many people in my circle. Your hand better not been out because your hand wasn't in when I had to put in the work. So I'm a tourist. So I definitely ain't messing with nobody that ain't messing with me during this journey. I don't give 2 fucks. It's the people that has helped me outside of the journey, like make it just in life. I got them. I already remember them. But it's like, man, the people that wait for whatever they wait for, it's like, man, what you waiting for? You should have been known I had this. You been around me. Like, I know this be sounding cocky, but I'm like, I feel like I know she probably gonna watch it. I feel like my ex, it's hard to replace me. Okay, somebody might got money, but you can't replace greatness like that. Like I just feel that way about myself, and I can see that like in you, like that change where it's like I'm really him, but in a positive way. I ain't gotta go out here and be the hoe I used to be, or knock somebody out just cause, or get in a scuffle, or argue with people. I don't argue with nobody. Hey, you got it. There's no need to argue because you wasting your energy, and it's just dope to see because we somewhat got a similar background. Like, man, that's dope that there's other people out there that really just kind of got on their journey of changing their life. Because I was talking to Miss Wendy, and she's more seasoned, and I was asking her like, how does it feel like to be at a certain age and people be like, oh, you too old? Or like when you get in your 30s, in our community, 30s is old. 30s ain't old. I'm just getting started. Yeah. Like, so it's like when you on your journey and you see other people that's similar, you can kind of be like, okay, I'm good. Because sometimes you see people, like all them young people we see, you be like, damn, they young, they getting it, they doing it. Like, damn, I'm in my 30s. I look around, I ain't really got it's like, ooh, but you can't compare yourself to other people. Everybody's journey different. Mm-hmm. But to see people on the journey that you can call, you can talk to, you can have a conversation with, and y'all going through similar things is beautiful. Because I wouldn't be sitting here. I got the gift of gab, but to sit on the couch and have conversation with people and an intellectual conversation, nah, man, I wasn't reading no books. I wasn't educate myself on nothing. I was the sports analyst. I was Stephen A. Smith of the hood, man. I still to this day be like, man, I really could go on there and really do that. But God told me to come a different way. Like me, it took me to becoming 30 to understand why I was born the way I was born. Oh, it's to help other people. I done went through all these surgeries, all this bullying, all this job rejection, women rejection, all this, negative stuff in my life to get to that point. And the first time I spoke, somebody was like, hey, that was impactful. And I was like, really?
Yeah, it's crazy.
And then it turned me like, oh, okay. Like I get excited by the equipment Like Miss Wendy they doing the pitch fest, so they got the TV and all this different extra stuff. They got more than this, and I was just sitting there like, ooh, one day I'm gonna be sitting there and they gonna have all this extra stuff for me, and it's like I get excited off that. Like I never would have thought I would be getting excited off stuff like that.
Yeah.
But it's different because you want a different life. So, what makes besides your authentic self, what makes your yoga teaching different than somebody? What would make somebody that ain't never been to yoga want to come to your yoga besides somebody else's?
Bro, I create a vibe, bro. You feel me? Like, you know how our culture rotate. You know what I'm saying? They want to hear certain music.
Yep.
They want to feel the vibe. They want to be around certain people. So with rhythm and flow, I concentrate more on our people. You feel me? Black and brown people. But it doesn't exclude any other people. You know what I'm saying? And I always say it like that is because I don't want, and I'm not going to say I don't care, because I feel like a lot of times when we say we don't care, we may not care a lot, but a percentage of us still cares. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not going to say I don't care what other people think, because I definitely do, but I don't really give a fuck a lot to where I'm not gonna lose sleep. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm asleep very well, baby. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want people to think like, oh, he said he can't. No. But yeah, I say it like that because I do got white friends. You feel me?
Yeah.
And before I even get into that, bro, let me. I'm gonna skate back. I'm gonna get off this question, but we gonna find our way back to it.
Yeah.
I remember when. Not too long ago, you just said about you grew up in a white neighborhood, right?
Yeah.
And you used to fight white people, stuff like that. So when I was doing construction, I was in the union for 5 years, right?
Yeah.
I was in the International Painter Union. Bro, them white boys over there made it hell for me, bro. Like, it got to the point where I'm not going to, because I don't like the word hate either, but I really, really had a strong dislike for white people. And something happened that changed my perspective. One day I was heading to work. So I went to Louisville. You know, I was still a little wild. So I was in Louisville, Kentucky. And the job site was in Cincinnati. So I spent the night in Louisville with a little babe. And then I drove to Cincinnati. But on my way to Cincinnati, I had to leave early in the a.m. to get there on time. So it was about 5 a.m. And to make a story short, it was like me and only a couple cars on the road, and I seen this car swerving or whatever, and it actually it crashed. But I don't know if you've seen this on the E-way. Sometimes there's like these big thick ass ropes in the middle section of the highway that divides the ongoing traffic from the other traffic.
Yeah.
Well, she got caught in between them ropes. Somebody told me those ropes are there so cars don't flip over. I don't know how true that is. But she got caught in between the ropes. So I kept going. Ain't none of my business. And then some, was like, man, don't do that. Back up. So I backed the car up and I knocked on the window. All the airbags was deployed. I mean, the car was smashed together. Like, and I'm knocking on. I'm like, y'all okay? And her car kind of smoking just a little bit. And the lady starts screaming. She like, help me. I got my baby in here. Now me being a nigga. Excuse my language for anybody that find that disrespectful. I'm sorry. But me being a brother, I hear a white voice. I'm like, whoa, I don't mess with them. So I'm like, damn, man, you can't just walk away. So I go over to the driver's side and she pushes the thing and I see a baby in the back. So I'm like, fuck. I'm looking around. Ain't nobody outside. It's dark. It's just me and her. So I ended up shattering her window. And I told her to give me the baby. So I ended up getting the baby out, and then I helped her get out. And this white woman hugged me real tight and was crying in my arms. Yeah. And it just changed my perspective on everything. I let her sit in my car. Her mom ended up showing up. The police showed up, and they told me, you know what I'm saying, they asked me a couple questions and told me go ahead. And when I got to work, they was trying to be funny. They was calling me like a hero and shit. And I'm like, nah, I ain't no hero and shit, but it did change the way I view white people, you feel me? So now skating back to rhythm and flow, that's why I always say I don't exclude them, is because I really do got white friends and I really fuck with them just like I would my black friends. You feel me? And then but I play our style of music in my classes, and that's what creates that vibe and that atmosphere. Is because when you think about it, when you walk in any place, if you walk in a coffee shop or anything and you hear Erykah Badu, the first thing you're gonna do is like, okay, this motherfucker.
Yeah.
And then the second thing you're gonna do is start looking around to see who the fuck is in there.
Yep.
Okay, my people are here. You're gonna look at the art on the walls. Yeah. Okay, this might be a motherfucking vibe. That's how my class is. When you walk in that motherfucker, you're going to see your people. You're going to hear our music. And I cuss in my class, and how I am on this podcast is exactly how I'm in that class. I might walk past you and whisper in your ear, I see you stretching. It hurt, don't it? But it hurt good. You know, I do little shit like that, and it just creates a vibe, and people fuck with me. You know what I'm saying? I always been goofy, too. That was one of my superpowers. I just used to make jokes and class clown and stuff, so I use that to my advantage. And, I mean, I don't know. It's just God happens with the rest of it. People just come, and I didn't have people say, like, I don't want to go to nobody else's class. I'd rather have your class. And I'm like, damn, man, like, that shit feel good. But I'm like, man, y'all got to understand, like, this is your practice. You could take this anywhere. But, I mean, I can't stop somebody for liking to come to my class. So I'm really honored that people even view me like that, because I didn't have people view me as the devil. You know what I'm saying? Because I used to get on some, what they call demon time. Yeah. Like, a lot. Everybody has a different version of or a different experience they have with you growing up. Yeah. You might have your buddies you went to middle school with or high school. They only seen you a certain way. But then you might have hooked up with some robbers, killers, and drug dealers. They only seen you a certain way. But when you around, and that's another reason why people are coming to my classes, because a lot of people got to see my evolution. A lot of people already know who I am, and they still seeing me grow. Some of these yoga teachers or fitness trainers or where the fuck you want to be, nobody actually seen what they did. They just hearing what they did. My shit is like a motion picture. People done seen me post, you know what I'm saying, me get mug shots of me getting locked up. People done seen me do all type of other shit. So, oh, my bad.
That's my nap time.
That alarm said, brother, we haven't had our nap.
No, it depends on when I get home, but I usually take a nap. But,
so to sum it all up, man, that's you come to my class, you're gonna get the real. And I feel like Kobe sometimes. I'm in the room before people get there sometimes. I talk to everybody on their way in. Hey, how you doing, love? Hey, how your day feeling? You all right? Let me get a hug from you. And then when it's time to leave, I stay after and try my best to talk to everybody. And people go off of their experience with you.
Yep. And I love you said that, because anything that you do as a service, it should be an experience for somebody when they come. Like, that's why I try to have, like, for people to be comfortable. Because a lot of times with podcasts, it might just be business. I want you to feel like I'm your cousin. We sitting on the porch and we got a drink or whatever, and we chilling. But it's an educational conversation. Because we are, like you said, you got friends where, you know, they was your friends when you was younger, that you don't have those same kind of conversations that you have now. But I noticed, like, it's like your friends, it's like as a shorty, elementary, you got all the friends. Middle school, you know, you kind of wind them down. High school, you got your crew. College, you might get your new people. But then as an adult, you look around, you ain't got too many. It's like they all gone, and you just have to understand that. But I ain't want to go off of, I love you just being yourself. Because just from you being in the class and your energy in the room, I can tell what kind of class you got. Yeah. Like, I know it's you coming in, you hype, you got the right music, and I can tell it's a vibe, because you're a vibe. Like, when you come in a room, you answering the questions, you funny. So I definitely can see that. And people go off of authenticity. I can't say this word.
I'll be able to say.
But that's how people are. And I think a lot of times we try to hide who we are. Like, as a coach, I cuss sometimes. Like, I ain't gonna cuss your kid out unless they need it. But I keep it a buck at school. I'm the crazy dude that come around. Like, I talk to kids how they probably talk to their people outside of here. Like, and that's just me. I'm not gonna hide who I am. Certain questions they ask, I'll answer them. But when you yourself, people gravitate to that. And then, like you said, people get to see your journey. They know where you went, where you was at, and now where you at. And they like, okay, they might come because they like, man, let me see what kind of sauce they got going on, because I want to be on that level, or they want to just be a better person. And that's just how I think life is when you have people that want to show their truth, when they show who they are, show your flaws. It's like Eminem on 8 Mile. He said everything he was about it. Yeah. So what you gonna say about me?
What you gonna say about me?
And I think when you do that, when you tell your story and you have your truth in your story, it's like, what can you say about me? I didn't already said everything, and people gravitate to that. That's why some people are up here and some people ain't, because you want to hide stuff. And as an educator, I think kids gravitate to me because I show them I'm human.
Yeah.
Like, these teachers be trying to act like, they not human. Kids they like, oh my God, we seen you on YouTube. Okay. I know it's something special, but for them to see me on YouTube, they like, oh my God, Mr. Jones is cool. Or then now that I coach, all the kids want to play Man, all y'all don't play basketball, bro.
You gotta talk the language of the people, bro.
Yep.
Like, it's it. Like, they're only gonna understand it when you speak to them. If you speak in the way that they speak in certain instances. Like, I teach at an alternative school, and I say this all the time. Them kids are definitely misguided. But, sometimes, like one little homie the other day, he act like he wasn't trying to hear the teacher. I got up on him, I whispered in his ear, I said, hey, nigga, get your ass up and just do the goddamn stretch, nigga. I said, you act like I want you to do this the whole time. I said, nigga, I don't want to be here no more than you want to be here. I said, come on, nigga, work with me, I work with you. He got up and started stretching, but that's me talking to him. Yeah. Now, I ain't about to just wow out like that. Yeah. There's certain shit I ain't about to just be saying like that. Yeah. But he understood me. It's like, okay, all right, man, big homie want me to. It's like, yeah, bro, it's like, I don't know, like even on the internet, like you might see me post some Tupac, hit him up or something. I don't give a fuck who looking at that. Like, this is me. Yeah. But then on the flip side, you might see me play some Michelle Branch or some motherfuckers, some white music, because I fuck with all different types of music. Yeah. But I don't want nobody, because you know what happens? Sometimes people put you on a pedestal. Yep. And then when you do some shit they don't like because they never seen it in you, then they want to sit up there and be like, I never knew you were like that. Yeah. And I'm like, oh ass nigga, you ain't never seen me like that because you don't know me.
Yeah, exactly, man. That's why I'm me at work. Everywhere I go, I'm me. Because I don't want you to be like, oh, he act this way over. Nah, I'm me. I might not use all the 4-letter words at school like that. But yeah, I'm gonna talk. Come on, man. What you on, bro? Or if a kid say something out of order, hey, come here, man. Hey, you can't be saying that shit in here. Yeah. Come on, man. Like, if the wrong teacher heard you say that, you gonna get in trouble. And they be like, oh, you right.
And that's what makes you a great coach, a great mentor. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You know what? Common sense. That's how you teaching kids the common sense of, come on. Well, you mad at her? Why? Because you didn't want to do your work? Mm-hmm. If you did your work, would she have yelled at you? No. Oh, okay. Well, guess what you should do? My work. Okay, yeah, that makes sense, don't it? Duh. Yeah. Like, that's how you got to talk to kids. And people don't, or really what it is, it's the background. They ain't never been where these kids been. These kids going through hell and high water, and they ain't never been there, or they don't know how to act. Oh, so nope. I'm gonna tell you this story. It's about to be funny, but it's crazy. So I usually do a segment called "You Won't Believe This." So today, you won't believe this. A 2nd grade girl brought in a rose, and I ain't talking about from the garden.
Man, come on, G.
A rose. So look, we in the library, right? And she playing with something, and I'm like, hey, put that up. And I go to like kind of grab to put her hand, and I look. I said, oh no. I said, hey, no, you got to go put that up now. You got to go put that in your backpack. Because I'm like, the other teacher was testing. I'm like, I'm here with the other kids at the library. She could just put it up and then come back. We'll figure it out afterwards. So she go and put it up, and I guess the teacher already seen it because they said she had it turned on.
Oh, man.
So they took it. So the teacher texts the mom, and the mom like, it ain't mine. Well, whose is it, ma'am? How did she get this? How it is? It's got to be somebody's.
And why she bring it to school?
Why did she bring?
Because she ain't even at the age where she'd be able to use that motherfucker.
No, anyway. She was like, yeah, this for your cheek. No, it ain't for the cheek you thinking. It's for. I'm like, please say you didn't. And I would have been so shitty if I touched it. I would like, cause as an adult, your first reaction is just to grab, hey, give me that, go and sit back down. And I'm like, and I seen a little button, and I said, this ain't what I think it is. Oh my God, I was shocked. So that's the kind of environment these kids come from. Hood environment. Yeah. And if you ain't from there, you don't know how to, like, it's little girls, they be like, what up, big head? They in second grade they talk shit to me. I talk shit to them. The teacher be like, oh, you can't be talking. I'm like, you just don't get it. They ain't calling me out my name or nothing. That's just terminology we use around the way. Like, they mess with me. If they going through something, they probably gonna tell me before they tell you, just because I know how to talk to them. Most kids that come in my office, they send me the bad kids. I'm like, hey, what's going on? How was your weekend? What's going on? Because that's where it starts. It ain't got nothing to do with today at school. It's got what happened at home over the weekend or whatever. And people don't understand that with kids. They don't give kids grace. You got to think when we was kids. Did you like it if a teacher just rah at you and you knew that maybe you didn't eat that night before, or maybe you wasn't able to take a shower or whatever, and you didn't like how that? So you got to remember that. But if they never been through that, they don't get it. They just think life is just easy and you supposed to have a mom and dad and all that. No, some of these kids live with grandma. They live with auntie. Mm-hmm. They live with grandma, and grandma don't know about no Uber, no none of that. They catching the bus to get to school or get around. Mm-hmm. Like, and if you don't understand that about these kids because you ain't been there, I feel like some people don't need to teach. Like, you don't need a degree to teach. You don't need to go to college and all that. Okay, you can learn all that verbiage and all that, but if you a person that generally love kids, you don't need all that because you understand how to approach the kids, or you know how to approach people that's going through stuff. Like you just said, like in your class, that intro that you give people, probably, man, I needed that hug. Man, I needed somebody to tell me that, because you going through a long day, and when people don't understand that, or they not from the struggle, they don't know how to talk to people that's going through the struggle. And I think it's people like us that know how to talk to you. Okay, I cuss, whoop the fucking do. Okay, I listen to this music, or this and that. It's like, nobody perfect. Like, how you judging me and you don't remember what you was doing last night, but you in church on Sunday talking about hallelujah?
I ain't gonna tap into that, because
but that's how people are.
I had a woman. So I had a conversation with a woman one night, and if she see this, no disrespect, but I got to tell this story. And so I rock feathers and stuff sometimes. You know what I'm saying? They have significant meanings to them. And I rock crystals and shit. I mean, yeah, whatever. And basically what Shorty was getting at was she thought that I worshipped feathers and crystals, and then she claimed that she didn't know that I believed in God. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, well, instead of asking me that, you just, you know what I'm saying? Like, what was that about? So she gets to going on and on, talking about certain things. And I told her this. I said, let me tap in with you real quick. Check this out. Though I have not read the whole Bible, I have grew up Christian. I grew up in the church, whatever. I know books of the Bible. I don't know the whole Bible. I have not read that motherfucker front to back. And honestly, a lot of people that claim to be Christians haven't read that whole book either. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So they just regurgitating information anyway. Mm-hmm. But I said, I don't drink. I don't smoke. You're not supposed to be doing that anyway. But you do. I said, I fast quite often, which is in that book. Mm-hmm. You don't. But I ain't gonna say this other part just in case you see it. But it was like, nah, I say it, because I mean no disrespect, but you got children. You're not married. You see what I'm getting at? It's like all of the things that you're saying that, I shouldn't be doing or whatever. Love, you doing the same thing. Ain't no sin bigger than another sin, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it's like, don't criticize me for doing a whole bunch of shit that you talk, and then you claim to be a super Christian, but you're out there having sex and not married. You're out here smoking and drinking and partying and shit. You not fasting. You don't really give a fuck about your body, because if you did, you wouldn't be doing the shit that you doing right now, which is damaging your body. I love my temple. I fast a lot from sex and all type of other shit. So before you judge me, Miss Christian woman, you better know what you talking about and how to back that shit up. Because just because I ain't read the whole Bible, I know quite a few things about the Bible.
Yeah.
And what you're doing is not of Christ.
Yeah.
I definitely,
there's so many stories, because I don't like church people because they judge. And for me, it's like, people like, you ain't got to give me a handshake or whatever. If you feel a certain way, you could give me a fist pump, but don't act like you can't speak and you a church person, or act different towards me because I look different, but you supposed to be a church person. Or I just don't like, I don't know, I have bad experience with people in church, so I try not to be around that energy, because then you get caught up in the negative energy. So I'd rather have that own personal relationship, because I grew up in the church, but I was always the kid. It's so many people that I wish I could have conversations with, that when I was a kid, I couldn't say what I wanted because I was a kid, but now that I'm an adult, just to have a conversation and ask questions. I always was a person to ask questions. Just want to know, like, why did you do this situation the way you did, or why did you say that, or just different things of that sort, because I feel like those type of people, that the person you talking about, my auntie, was that lady, judge everybody, but a heathen. She was a heathen. She was she was one of them people that, like, as a kid, me and my sister wanted to whoop her ass, like, because you was in church, and then just treat us as kids so evil. And it's like, how do people do that and then judge somebody off of, for instance, Chris Brown? They still talking about him and Rihanna. That was over 15 years ago. You ain't done nothing that was over 15 years ago that you don't want people to talk about?
A lot.
I just don't get the world we live in. It's like, when, like you said, when people put you on a pedestal, or they give you this title, like, the title don't mean I'm a human at the end of the day. Like, that title is just what I do, as in work or whatever, but I'm still a human. Because it's like, if somebody come up to you and disrespect you, you put, oh, well, I got this title, I'm just going to chip. You done lost your motherfucking mind. You think you're going to do something disrespectful to me, and I'm just going to be like, oh, well, I'm a teacher, and I'm just going to let that happen. Here go my badge, but I'm about to handle what's need to be handled. Like, I'm not, like, I don't get where people feel like if you got a title, you still not a human. Why would the players jump into the crowd? Because the fan was being disrespectful. Like, this is somebody's dad. This is somebody's mom. This is somebody's daughter or son. And people just think you just supposed to take what people supposed to say. And I like the energy that you have. Like you said, I care, but I ain't going to lose no sleep over it if you don't like me.
I ain't losing no sleep. And then, but also, from my past experiences, I have learned to handle things a little different too. Like, if you can walk away, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I try my best not to raise my voice. I keep my tone pretty much the same. Even if it elevates just a bit, it's still the same tone. You know what I'm saying? I don't call women out their names. I don't do that going back and forth with women. Like, once I feel like we in a great debate, it's like, I don't even want it, you got it.
Yep.
Because I already know what I'm going to do if you play with me. And I don't even want to take it there, because I done came a long way. And I don't want to, you know what I'm saying, have no setbacks right now. I'm having my way, and I'm loving what God is blessing me with.
Yep.
So to act on impulse, or to, you know what I'm saying, not conduct myself, respect myself in a respectful manner, is a disservice to God. And not only that, my children and everybody else that's watching me, you know what I'm saying, and that's proud of me. So now, but what you saying, like, also, I know the difference, because you put your hands on me.
Yeah.
I'm going to scorch the earth with you. But, you know, it's this guy named Jason Wilson, black guy, big beard. He's a martial arts teacher.
Yeah,
and
I know
stuff.
you're
Yeah,
talking
you know
about.
what I'm saying? I read his book, and I be watching his interviews and stuff. And he was on a podcast with Joe Rogan, and he was talking about the lion and the lamb, and he was talking about one of the kids in his class used to get bullied at school, and the little boy felt like it wasn't Christ-like to, you know what I'm saying, fight back, kind of what you talking about. But he told him, like, nah, if somebody put their hands on you, you do what you got to do.
Yeah.
So I guess the little boy comes back with the story, like, boy tried him again, and he flipped him over his shoulder. And Jason was like, that wasn't even what he was impressed by. He was impressed by the little boy telling him before the boy head hit the concrete because he flipped him over, he pulled on his hoodie to pull him back up to keep him from hitting his head. And he was talking about knowing when to turn on the lion, but also how to turn on the lamb, still being compassionate for others. So that's something that I've been practicing for some way. And don't get it twisted. We, like you said, we human, so sometimes we might not be in the right mood to be played with.
Yeah.
But also know that, you know what I'm saying, a man that doesn't have control over his emotions or his urges or anything of that sort, you know what I'm saying, is kind of labeled a weak man, because you need to understand, I say understand. You need to learn how to get a grasp on life. You feel me? Like, don't let somebody's ignorance push you into an ignorant moment, and now, you know what I'm saying, in 5 seconds you done lost your life, or you done went to jail behind this motherfucker over here or this female over here. And that's just what I've been learning on my journey, man. I ain't put my hands on nobody in a long time. Last person I put my hands on was my little brother, and that's because he stole from me, and that's another story for another time. Yeah. But before that, it's been like since 2012, 2013, and honestly, that wouldn't, you know what I'm saying, that ain't even of importance. I'm a peaceful dude, you feel me? Yeah. And I like to keep it like that. So, you know, just encouragement for everybody out there that's viewing this is like, don't never let nobody push you to the brink of no control, you know? Yeah.
I definitely work on that. But I feel like now, and I think it's somewhat of a problem sometimes. I care about people's feelings a little too much, and I don't always unleash the lion, because I be like, man, they gonna take this the wrong way. But it's like, maybe they need to hear it in this tone, because I feel like sometimes my approach is always different than somebody else. But if you listen to what I'm saying, you get what I'm saying. So, and when I'm passionate, my voice does get higher. Yeah. But it's like, I ain't yelling at you. You would know if I was yelling. Yeah. And I hate that my voice gets like, it gets loud, and people take that the wrong way. They be like, oh, you getting loud. I really not getting loud. I just can't. I don't know how to turn this mug off when I'm passionate about something. So people take that the wrong way. But I've learned how to walk away or get a mediator to handle a situation so somebody can understand what I'm saying. They don't take the tone of my voice the wrong way. Because I didn't understand that for a long time. Like, they like, no, it's your tone. Like, my tone, I'm like talking normal, and people would take it the wrong way. Even when I started coaching, like, I was coaching in some brown white people, and they not used to the passionate black coach yelling and da-da-da. So the head people of the league was like, I don't really know. They was like complaining every week. I'm like, so I was like, have any parents ever came up to y'all? No. Anybody said something? No. Oh, it's just y'all. Okay, well, I'm going to keep coaching. Until a parent say something to me or you, then I know I'm not doing a bad job. But people used to take the tone of my voice, and I had to realize, like, you got to tone it down a little bit sometimes, but that's taken away from me being me. So I don't know, like, should I tone it down for you? I don't really need to tone it down for you.
Nah, bro, you don't. Yeah. Because sometimes people just be listening to react, bro. They be waiting to be able to take it there with you. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's like, man, at that point, man, bro, I ain't even, once they start getting on a little agitated, and did I say the word right? Because now I'm doing this shit too. Agitated. And once they get agitated and stuff, it's just like, you know what, look, I'm going to come back to you another time when we talk about, because you don't have the capacity to interpret what I'm trying to say to you. Yeah.
Oh, that's it right there. Sometimes people don't know how to interpret what you're saying, and then that's when you understand, I shouldn't be around you. Because if I can't have a normal conversation, what's a normal conversation to me, and it's going over your head, maybe we shouldn't be talking to each other. And I think that's the importance of learning relationships, like understanding when you need to cut people off or when you need to have boundaries in that relationship. So this last question, I know I ain't go to none of the questions really, but I think this one, for those facing challenges, feeling lost on their journey, what advice or encouragement would you offer them based off your personal experience and the wisdom you've gained? You ain't gotta go like give it 3. You ain't gotta give 4, 5. You know, something that kind of what we've been talking about that registers in your brain. Like, how can somebody where maybe you was feeling that or something I said, like how can they, you know, get some encouragement? Because we're gonna get some tips in a minute, but yeah.
I just say find your purpose. You know what I'm saying? Like, and you'll know when you found your purpose because it'll feel right, it'll look right. You know what I'm saying? Like, I tried everything. I did music. I tried to be a drug dealer. I tried to be a goddamn a model. I done all this shit, bro. And I don't feel like that. I know that wasn't my purpose. You feel me? But like when I started teaching yoga and shit, it just felt right. It looked right. Yeah. And I didn't feel heavy anymore. You know what I'm saying? And that, like I said, paradise emerged. That's when I cried about this shit because I found real life, what peace really feels like and looks like. You know what I'm saying? It looked like every Tuesday going to, you know what I'm saying, the mastermind class. It looked like teaching a class and everybody just, I don't be telling you, sometimes these people clap for you and they make you feel good as fuck. And it's like, damn. And then for people to be saying you helping them out. And sometimes I'm sitting here thinking like, how am I helping you out? But then at the same time, it's like, I get it. God is using me. I was watching the Bob Marley movie. Yeah. And she had said something to Bob Marley and it stuck with me after seeing the movie. She said, sometimes the messenger must become the message. And that's how I look at life, bro. This shit might sound a little eerie to people, but bro, I know my time limited on earth, bro. And while I'm here, I want to make the best of it. I don't know where I'm going because people really just speculating. Don't nobody know where the fuck they going when they leave here. They don't even know if heaven is real. They don't know if hell is real. We all just speculate. I don't care if you're a scientist. I don't care if you're an astrologer. Everybody is speculating. Once your soul leaves your body, nobody really truly knows where you go. Yeah. But wherever I go, I want to be at peace and I want to know that I did all I could to make my creator happy while I was here. So that's why I moved the way I move. And just to go back to what you were saying, man, just find your purpose. Because when you find your purpose, you found what true, you know, you found what living is. Yep. You found what not just existing, because some people are just out here existing. They need to learn there's a difference between living and existing. Once you find your purpose, you are now truly living. And then I add this little piece in there. When you find your purpose, some of those things that you tried that you really felt like you wanted to do in life, it'll circle back around because guess what? I wanted to do music. Well, now I can drop meditation music or whatever I want to. I wanted to model. I could be a yoga model if I want to. You know what I'm saying? Like business on everything that I ever wanted to do, even selling drugs. This is a drug I'm selling. Yeah. Me speaking these affirmations to people. You a king, you a queen, you a goddess, you are loved, you are worthy. Like that's a drug I'm giving you for the free 99. Yeah. And it's gonna make you feel good. Like all the things I ever did in a positive light, it's coming back around. So when you find your purpose, money, it all makes sense.
Yeah. You hit it on the head with that. I remember one of my coaches, he was like, you got to look at life just like the game. and I told this to some kids. I was like, some of y'all run a business already. Y'all got workers, right? Y'all got people that, you know, bring y'all stuff back. They was like, yeah. I was like, you can do the same thing with a business. And it like you said, it'll circle back. Like if you sold drugs, your business, whatever, if it's a product or a service, that's your drug that you're giving out. Yeah. Now you got to understand, okay, I need you on this block. I need you here. I need you here. I need you here. The blocks now is social media managers or videographers and stuff like that. You don't need nobody on the corner. You need somebody behind the scenes. So you got to look at it a different way. But like you said, like it come back around. Like I always wanted to rap. And I'm pretty good, but I just never took it serious because I thought that wasn't it. But like now, I could, if I wanted to go in the studio and drop a mixtape, I can because I have the access or or know people with resources and stuff of that sort. I do want to do something with sports. I don't know yet. I always felt like I think it's gonna be speaking, like getting to a team and speaking to a team. But something with sports. I want to be on a celebrity game. I want to be like one of them people that play on and be like, oh, he really can hoop. Or I want to get on, you know how celebrities go on the sports shows. That's one thing that I definitely want to do because I think I debate Stephen A. Smith pretty good. He just used big words. Yeah. Or like Shannon Sharp. I feel like I'd be like, you know who Famous Los is?
Yeah.
That's me. That's why I felt like I really would like commentating the game. Like I don't really be into it much. My son, he's a little me, so he be on that. But I just feel like that's something that I wanted to do ever since like a kid. Like I always wanted
that
to.
Shit, bro.
Yeah,
For real.
Yeah, you know. So we in the same age group. You know, we all failed at using social media.
Definitely.
Because think about when we was all probably in college or that age of college, and if we just had a camera and put it on YouTube, we would have blew up.
We'd have been blew up.
We would have had because think about, man, I know my college life, right? That was a movie. When I was in Bloomington with my bros, that was a movie. If we put that out, oh my goodness, we would have blew up. And it's like, why didn't we think of that? You didn't use technology. That's why these kids are smarter than us. They use the technology right. We just thought it was cool to get on Facebook.
Bro, I had a camera when I went to Ivy Tech. I took a photography class because I wanted to do filming too. And I had a camera, bro. I dropped out and took that goddamn camera with me.
Never used it.
Bro, I did like little hood photo shoots and then I sold the camera and bought a strap. Bro, I'm telling you, bro, I used to do silly stuff.
But you didn't know you didn't know at the time. Like we didn't know like this stuff. Like all the people that be on and do the funny stuff. I'm like, man, I've been doing this stuff. Like the skits. Like me and my bro, we used to call people and prank them by being people from church.
Yeah.
Like we was doing it, and I'm like, bruh, we slacked. We was doing everything that we see online, and I'm like, maybe God just knew wasn't supposed to be who we are supposed to, because all of us do something different now, and I just feel like, dang, like you said earlier, you did a whole bunch of different stuff. Like I was trying to figure it out, like what was I supposed to do? But everything,
no blueprint
like,
to this.
It was no blueprint. You know what? It was a friend that changed, like that made me really want to be an entrepreneur. My 30th birthday, I had a hangover movie moment. I didn't know what happened. I knew I was in the club. Next thing I know, I woke up, no shirt, pants wet, phone broke, and I missed my flight. Yeah.
Damn.
But this the crazy thing. So my birthday is coming up. It's close to Mother's Day. So that year, Mother's Day was that Sunday, and my ex-wife got my mom to come down to surprise me for Mother's Day and for my birthday. But I didn't make the flight. And my mom was cool. When this how, like, my mom say something that's almost lost. She was like, you only turned 30 once. You good? I was like, okay, cool. I don't feel too bad. Yeah. I can deal with her when I get back. But after that weekend, my bro, he did clothes and all different stuff. And he was like, all right, partying time over. It's business time. So I went around with him and saw actually what he did. And I was like, man, I could do something similar to what he doing. It wasn't easy, but it wasn't too hard. And that's what sparked so me seeing somebody of my age would spark me. It wasn't an older person. It wasn't somebody that, because in the hood, people, they did business, but they ain't really have business. They ain't had the paperwork. They're doing the taxes right, or all that
doing
different.
all that shit, bro.
Yeah, they just had the business. They ain't had nothing to it. So, need 3 tips. I'm trying to think where on purpose, because I think that's what I got from your journey from when you found yoga to where you at now. You still the same. You're a better version of the older you, but you're still the same authentic person that you always been. But you found something that impacts the world and not just impacts your only your family and you. It impacts the whole community, and eventually, it's going to impact the whole world. So give people 3 tips on how they can find their purpose, or what are some things they, can do to maybe, scratch that itch.
Yeah. Well, one tip is, man, surround yourself with like-minded individuals. You're not gonna get nowhere. I mean, we in this spin culture where everybody's talking about spending on people, Then you got the drug culture going on. Like, there's not a lot of great representation out there to even help you get to where your purpose is.
Yeah.
So you gotta, like I found the mastermind class. I'm gonna keep saying that. Like, there's groups out there. You just gotta insert yourself in those environments. So find some like-minded individuals and get to work. You know what I'm saying? Another thing is tap in with God. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you don't have a relationship with God, man, get you one. I don't care if it's you revert to Islam, convert to Islam. I don't care, Buddhism, whatever you choose. Find your way to the higher power. So the higher power, insert yourself in around like-minded individuals. And then you said a third tip. Mm-hmm. A third tip is, man, always remain authentic, man. If somebody don't like, what you stand for or who you are, man, fuck them. And that's my favorite line. Fuck them. I mean, hey, because honestly, man, I wasn't put here to be liked. You know what I'm saying? I'm supposed to love, but nobody ever said that I was supposed to lie. I don't got to like you, my nigga. And you don't have to like me either. You can go like somebody else. You know what I'm saying? I don't care. So I always remain authentic. I hate when people be code switching and all that other shit, man. If they don't like who you are, fuck them. Like, man, fuck you. That's how I feel. Fuck you. You don't like me? That's cool. Your sister probably do, nigga.
No, just bullshit. I'll just play.
Hey, I ain't gonna hold you. Look, I be thinking of the kids at school that be trying to act. I be wanting to say some stuff like, yeah, your mama might like me. You better quit playing with me.
Your mama might want some of you.
But I always tell people, everybody didn't like Jesus, so everybody not gonna like you. And kids tell me that I don't really like you, Mr. Jones. I don't like you either. You ain't gotta like. I'd be like, you ain't gotta like me. Like we here for you to learn. You ain't gotta like me. And then they be like, then the next week they can I come to your office? Can I do? No, remember you ain't like me. Nah, and it just take that to show somebody I don't really care if you don't like me.
Kids gonna be kids.
Yeah, not even with adults.
Oh,
I tell somebody, hey, I don't like you either. Like, I don't really care that you don't like
business.
Yeah, it's because I'm one of the people, like, if you do something where it crosses one of my morals or core values, I'm really good off you. It could be a family member. I'm good.
Yes,
like,
sir.
I don't talk to my brother because he got to talking crazy about my mama, and he my brother by my daddy side. I'm thinking like, bro, you're lucky we ain't in the same room, bro. You don't talk about my mom. What? You don't talk about people's mama. Like, that's just something you don't do. And I don't care that we brothers. We got the same daddy, but you might not like your mama, but you talk about my mama, I'm on your head. Like, in a way of, really? Like, I was just like, so if I can cut off a brother, I can cut off anybody. So if you don't like me, you don't like me.
Yeah.
That's just keep it at that. Like you said, fuck them. You gotta have that fuck it button in you. Because if you don't, the world will eat you up. Because you'll get on social media, you'll get to go on different places, and people will you be getting caught up, and you just gotta be like, man, fuck that shit. I don't need to be over there and go to this. I don't need to go over here. Or if they don't like you, you can always leave.
That's it.
You can always leave a situation. You do not have to stay. There's Uber, there's Lyft, there's your feet, there's a bus. Even if you didn't drive, if you need to get on a bike or scooters, like, walk away from situations. Because like you said, that 5 to 10 seconds could get you 5 to 10 or 15 to life. Like, and just off of somebody being ignorant and taking you back to the old you. So I love that. Man, I love talking to you, man. You got a great story. You a cool dude. I definitely gonna have to come to a yoga class and see what it. I've been saying I'm gonna do yoga for a minute because my sister, she's a yoga instructor. She live in Cali, so she be doing it, and I just ain't never. I don't know, but I know my body. I know I need to stretch. I know I need that because it's.
Yeah, man. Get you and tap in that breath work too, man.
Yeah. I definitely need that.
And, hey, I'm gonna tell you like this. I did breath work one time and I feel like I hit a blunt. I ain't gonna lie, man. Hey, you tap in long enough where you get to on the spiritual high.
Yeah. That's having Ray on and then having you, because they two different kinds of ways of talking about health or getting healthier. Yeah, I definitely got to, because 40 is up the street, and I don't want to be one of them. I want to be still active.
Yeah.
Because my son, he just turned 10, so he about to, start feeling himself on the court and he gonna get bigger, faster, and all that stuff. And it's like, nah, bro, you still got about 5 to 7 before you can beat me. So I gotta stay in shape, because if I don't, I ain't never gonna hear the end of it. I ain't never gonna hear that. I'm glad his sister don't play.
Yeah.
See, I was gonna tap into that about girls, because I was rough on my daughter.
Yeah.
But she's not biologically mine, but I don't know what reason, I was just always tough. I'm softer with my son than I was with her.
Yeah.
So because I didn't know, I just know as a parent, you're supposed to be tough.
Yeah.
I didn't know you supposed to be soft, and I had to learn that. But I appreciate what you do, man. I appreciate your journey coming on the show and tapping in. Keep being you, because I'm glad you explained Paradise, because I was like, I don't know what to call it, but then like understanding where it comes from, because at first I thought it was
some freaky shit.
Yeah, and I was like, because I'm like, okay, but he got the energy and all that. Oh, he probably get the lady. Okay, and then it's like hearing what it's like. Okay, cool. So yeah, shout out to you, man. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep bringing that same energy. I mean, you probably didn't have some rough days, but you ain't never showed it. So on the days that I saw you, so keep doing that. Tell people how they can. I need an underdog quote, and then tell people how they can reach you online.
An underdog quote.
Yeah.
Stay focused, nigga. And you want to know how to reach me?
Yeah, online.
You know how to reach me. You can reach me on Facebook at Paradise McClain, or you can reach me on Instagram at Paradise_the Vibe. That's THE Vibe. Let me run that back. Paradise_the Vibe _McClain. So one more time, Facebook, that's Paradise McClain. Instagram is Paradise_the Vibe _McClain.
Appreciate it. And if you want to tap in with Underdawg Talk, just type in Underdawg Talk on Google. It'll pop up everywhere. I love being able to say that, because I wouldn't. You don't want to be like, Google me and then a mugshot. I don't got none of them. Hopefully.
Oh yeah. Before we go, I'm teaching May 18th. And if you go to Eventbrite, you look up Breath Fest 2024. So I'll be teaching May 18th, and that's going to be from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. It's going to be me, this woman named Jadine, who is a breathwork coach. It's going to be some dance activation going on, some vendors going to be there. It's going to be a beautiful event. So tickets are on sale right now. If y'all want to come flow with the brother, May 18th. Anybody got all the social media down, you can DM me for it. And let's get it popping. Come fuck with the kid,
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna put that as a video and put it in the show notes. I'm about to see because that's on a Saturday, right?
I believe so.
Yeah, because we don't know what with basketball. I never know when we play, when we play. But if I ain't doing nothing, I'm definitely gonna tap in, because I've been seeing the different ones available in the group, but on those days I be having stuff to do. So I definitely want to support y'all, because it's different vibes in the class that having stuff going on. So I love everything everybody got going. I guess just give us one more little nugget before we get out of here.